previous game, you think 7-28, that looks pretty rough for Alliance, goal difference quite big, but even though those statistics kind of make it seem like it was a one-sided game, I have people next to me to dispute that fact. I have Tsunami, I have Winter. You're of course watching the StarLadder ImbaTV Minor. Alliance taking on Gambit. Gambit taking the first game. Winter, it wasn't a one-sided game.
Do some disputing.
You said you were gonna dispute me on that.
Well, I think the game, even though the scoreline says otherwise, but I think the game came down to a few small things. I felt like Alliance didn't really play that game because this game they sort of put more priority on 33. Usually the way they play is they don't really care about whether Neta has a good game. You're just there, do what you can. We're just gonna give Nico the best game. And what they did this game was they tried to put a Baden against a Bat, which is an understandable idea. So they put the Spectre on the off lane. He actually didn't really have a very good start, and he was very low level because he was in a tri lane. And they didn't really win the bottom lane because the Bat Rider, what he did was he did the smart thing. He couldn't fight the lane, so he just back lane.
He had the whole Radiant jungle.
Yeah, he was just jungling and whatever. Yeah, sure, the Rubik came and chased him away once or twice, but I think overall they did not really get a good trade with I think what they expected initially. So I felt like it was more of the small things that happened in this laning phase that caused them to not able to play the Alliance game where Neta is poor, Nikobaby is rich. It might sound like a small thing, you know, but it's actually affecting the game a lot. And on top of things, because of the way they drafted, they were second pick. They didn't pick the mid hero last. So mid hero getting owned in the lane was also another problem. And I talked a little bit about how Gambit and Alliance, they are similar, but they are different in a way where the win condition of Gambit is in the mid lane.
Yeah.
And whereas for Alliance, their win condition is mostly going to be on the Nikobaby hero, which is the carry hero. And he did not have a good lane this game because of how they decided to lane their heroes. And whereas Gambit, SF had a really, really good lane because of the matchup SF against Void Spirit. So I think the main issue here is just about going back to your roots, going back to how you play Dota. That's just, it's just that. They just tried to do too much, I feel.
GPK guy's pretty good. You know,
pretty good.
Why haven't any other teams considered taking him before is what I'm wondering. Where's this guy?
Has he not been poached,
Where's he been for the last like month and a half or something like that?
We were like talking about why is he not clicking his BKB yet? What the heck?
That man had nerves like ice in the veins. There were so many situations in which we were like, surely you'd pop a BKB. He just got glimpsed back. You know, none of his teammates are around. No, nothing. Even when he was sieging the bot lane for high ground, and he was like, I got the Aegis, I'll save it for whenever I respawn. He respawns, it's like, I don't need this. We're just gonna win the game right now anyway. GPK balling out of control.
Yeah,
Hell
sure,
of a performance.
he was the flashiest one, but I think everyone else still did their job. The Shaker had a few really good initiations with the Echo Slam, and he had a really good timing on the blink. Well, on top of things, the Bat Rider was, I think, the shining star with the itemization. I think
and the farm.
he had the best item sequence I felt he could have gotten that game. The Pipe was the item that allowed the support to stay in a fight against the Spectre. I think Pipe is the most important item to have when you're against a Radiant Spectre, just so that you can keep your supports alive. Like in a team fight, support's worst nightmare is a Radiant Spectre coming to you, and you're just gonna die.
I thought though, Void Spirit did quite okay against Shadow Fiend in the lane, right?
He's not the problem. It's just how they changed the plan where they tried to put more priority in Neta, trying to give Neta a better laning phase.
Right.
Which I think, personally, I think it's not important at all that Neta gets a good laning phase. I think the main issue is they need to get Nikobaby on a better, give him a better game.
Well, because we talked about this before the series, right? We talked about win condition and which player you wanted to set up for most success. And on Alliance, you want to set up Nikobaby for success. You kind of feel like they were too considerate of the other players. Yeah,
that game, they were too considerate of Neta. Even though it's understandable you want the Baden to lane against the Bat Rider, but it's against of how they want to play and how they function as a team. And whereas for Gambit, they got the player that they need to get a good start, the SF.
Yeah, they set him up for success proper.
But is putting the Bat Rider versus the Abaddon, I thought that was more because they wanted the Bat Rider to have a bad game, not so much to make 33 have a good game.
But regardless, in the end, what happened was the Bat Rider was still getting a game because he creep skipped, and Nikobaby's game was affected because he was tri-laning and he couldn't really farm so well on the off lane. That's why I think the the trade-off was not good.
If that was a safe dual lane / tri lane, you know, maybe have a bad help, like have some help at the start, would have been better.
Yeah, I think it's better that way because what would happen is the Battle will have a shit game and the Bad Rider will have a shit game. And I think that it's more important for them to get the Spectre farm rather than get the Battle farm with how they're functioning as a team. Maybe it doesn't work that way with another team. You can put another team playing the same lineup, but they would fare very differently if they do this.
I mean, we have seen it before where it is indeed like Nikobaby will take the team on his back if they have created enough space and time for him. And this game, like even if there was like a late game scenario where Nikobaby was going to be able to carry, it would have come too late because they had to
the game
hinder
was
him at the
way
start.
too slow already.
Yeah.
Like they just need to reinstate him as the king in the team, you know, instead of Neta getting attention. That's how I feel about it.
So rather than, because you know, you look back in the game, you're gonna see if you can adjust for game 2. You're gonna go for some changes. So rather than trying to make GPK's life more difficult, you should focus on your own team if you're Alliance to give.
I mean, they could do that too.
How can you do that though? Because he already didn't have an amazing lane.
It depends on who is first pick. Let's see.
Okay, with first pick is going to Gambit once
because I
again.
think if Alliance is first pick, they could actually pick. I mean, they could hand pick the mid laner and ban some heroes and just save the 18 pick for the carry. So that way you probably can ensure that the mid lane doesn't get trashed too much and you get a strong carry as well.
The longer they wait to pick Nikobaby's hero, the more heroes that are going to get banned out that he picks though.
Yeah, that's true as well. That is true too. There are downsides of adjusting your idea to that, the way you draft to that way. Even though I felt like he has a big hero pool, but it's very difficult to get an effective carry hero when you wait that long and the enemy is banning this way.
Yeah, because I mean your draft like versatility gets narrower and narrower
I
the more
agree,
heroes that you pick.
It's a very good point.
So the change that we have here is that Bad Rider gets first phase banned, leaving Enchantress and Shen still in the pool. Those are two heroes Alliance banned out previously. Gambit bans out the same.
And the other issue is like I think probably the Disruptor being picked too early because he's not a very strong hero anymore because of certain small changes to Glimpse.
Yeah.
So that could be a hero that might be replaced by Lich again. I like Lich because Lich is just like a simple hero that will allow the carry to have a good game. And in general, I always suggest this pick towards teams that have a very high focus on their carry players. And we see the Clockwork here again.
That's unusual, is it not?
First pick Clockwork.
I think the hero is actually pretty strong right now. Going back to what I said, because I like position 4 heroes that can roam and run around, like Earthshaker. Yeah, sure, he cannot gank as well as Earthshaker, but he does the same thing. And on top of things, Clockwork has also been an upcoming offlaner, offlane hero, so it adds flexibility towards the draft because it confuses the enemy, doesn't reveal much.
Now, it used to be a Shachlo offline hero. They have played it earlier today, also on the offlane successfully against Crazy. I'm assuming that is going to be the case again, and we saw the Bad Rider first phase pick last time as well for
Clockwork plus SF. I don't know. Like they could go back.
SF first phase.
Yeah, maybe, but I mean, it's a really good hero when you have a very, very snowbally mid player.
And you can just deny the cogs and get a good start.
Yeah.
I like it. All right, so Enchantress first pick for Alliance.
That's like a Lich for me, like a position 5 that secures the lane. Like it's a much more fitting hero to how Alliance is playing. Like Disruptor could be better position 5 if your team plays maybe in a different way. But for how Alliance play, I'm not saying like Disruptor is worse hero compared to as a position 5 directly, but I'm just saying Enchantress is more suitable for the way they want to run their strategy. They just need to ensure that Nico gets a good start, and so he can just do his thing later.
The tendency seems to be that they want to give Nico the solo lane as quickly as possible, though, which is what kind of discourages me from Lich-style picks, because I feel like Lich has to hang around the carry for so long, and once you start roaming as Lich, you're not that useful.
Yeah, I can understand where you're coming from.
Whoa! We did see the Void second phase banned previous game.
Yeah, maybe they're just trying to do what Neil mentioned earlier. They try to pick the hard carry first, so it doesn't get banned, because that's what Gambit is doing. And you try to save the mid hero last, so he doesn't get. You get your hard carry, and your mid laner, even though he's the space maker, he doesn't lose his. That's like a win-win scenario for you.
Yeah.
So they're adjusting towards how Gambit is drafting. It's a good thing to see, like teams doing this.
You can't do the twirl
I
shaver.
am trying so hard.
Fata's experience.
He is doing that twirl and like twirling your
Yeah.
All right, everybody at home, grab a pencil and try to twirl it on your. Oh shoot!
For North Americans, I don't know if it's like a worldwide term, but we call it the debater's twirl, because all the kids who used to take debate class in high school, they like mastered that twirl. So I'm sure if you YouTube debater's twirl, you may be able to find it. But
So they go for AA. I guess standard combo with the hook shot.
yeah, and counter pick against Void.
And a comfort hero for FNG. He likes it.
Yep. So let's see what is the plan for Alliance again this time.
So now that the Nikobaby hero's out on the field,
They
who
just
do you
need-
want to target as Gambit with your bans now? Are you going to target
The mid hero.
Okay.
Yeah, probably the mid hero.
Because you want to set up GPK for success.
Or, I mean,
still.
or you could ban heroes that just work well with the Chronosphere right now.
Yeah. I'm
I mean,
surprised that Snapfire's
Snapfire
yeah.
maybe. They're targeting the off lane. Beast
So
Master.
33.
I guess you want to target offlaners that can be easily left alone and can
Yeah.
be actually
That
a
could be a-
menace when left
Yeah,
alone.
that could be a good idea too.
Yeah. So other than Beastmaster, I mean, they already banned out the Timbersaw. Which other offlaners are a problem when you leave them alone? Is Abaddon actually still an option there?
I don't think Abaddon plays with the Chronosphere.
Yeah, that
well.
doesn't
No, it
work
does
very
not.
well with their lineup.
Otherwise, I would also suggest like Pango, but
Hmm.
I don't really know if Pango would also play well enough.
I mean, it might be actually a weird hero, or maybe the Ench is gonna be the offlaner. Maybe.
Oh yeah, actually, I would not be
Maybe.
surprised with that.
Yeah,
True.
there's a chance.
I mean,
That's why it's a very solid
yeah.
pick to open the draft with, because it doesn't tell the opponents a lot. It can be put in a different role.
33 has a very wide array of heroes he's scary on.
Yeah. If Gambit go for some sort of carry that is susceptible to a dispel or just can't harass very easily.
Maybe somewhere this tournament we get to see the rare 33 Chen offlane. I like me some of that.
Chen, I want to see his visage. His
Yeah.
visage used to be legendary.
True.
I want to see
true.
his brood.
You want to see his
Brood,
brood?
yeah.
Yeah, he has a lot of those heroes. Very fun to watch. All right, let's see. Last ban of Gambit. Who are they worried about? Are you actually... Yeah, you just... If you're thinking about win conditions of Alliance and you already know that Nikobaby has got his hero,
That's why
the
you
next
want
scary
you want to ban
person...
you want to ban the heroes that allow the win condition to have
Yeah.
a better game.
All right. So the ban out Snapfire, that would have been a great combination with the Void.
Yeah.
Correct.
There are still like a couple of heroes I think that are really good. Phoenix, Skyra, but those are heroes that I'm not sure if they are strong at the moment. Because if they pick Phoenix and Skyrath and the support duo is like Ench and Phoenix or Skyrath, it'll be very weird.
Yeah.
So
you would
the-
have
so
no
they-
stuns.
So they pick. So the puck. Maybe,
Still flex potential.
Yeah, I, mean, I think maybe it's still like very open. It could be like just an offlane hero.
I'm leaning Limmp puck, but like so far I'm thinking 5 Enchantress mid puck, but who knows?
Yeah, but the thing is like the way, judging by the way that they're drafting and what happened in the first game, I think they might adjust their game plan to allow the mid lane to have a better game so that the GPK guy doesn't get a crazy start, you know, like snowball too hard. But overall, it could still be just his hero. You know? I mean, Puck is like his comfort hero.
I mean,
Puck
does
and Tiny.
Does Puck really lose that many lanes also?
Not really though.
Yeah.
He's just like a reliable hero in general in the lane. Like you want to pick, if you want to pick a mid laner and you don't really see much, you can just pick Puck. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, he used to be way stronger before the nerfs.
Which were entirely necessary. I still think Puck is really strong. I still think phase shift attack needs to get moved.
Hater.
There we go.
So right now for Gambit, they already see the Void. So what do they do right now? They do. I think it's actually okay for them to pick the carry already because you see the Void, and you kind of know your carry to carry matchup. So you are just probably trying to save the mid hero next, because the next 2 picks doesn't really matter because you're gonna pick both together.
Yeah. So yeah, we need a
I think you pick the carry because you
carry.
maybe not. Maybe you just pick
Maybe
the.
support. It's an X offlaner.
Okay, this makes sense as well because they see the lane. They know it's probably gonna be the Void and Ench, and Ench is a strong laner. So you want to pick a hero that can go behind and cut the wave and just do your thing, because you don't want to have to fight and deal with the Ench in the laning phase directly because she's so strong.
It does
So-
secure clock as an offlaner. Sorry, support.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
So after Timber is banned, then Axe is just the next best choice to.
I mean,
creep
there's still Darks here. There's still like certain heroes like Bristol Bag, you know.
Yeah.
So why do you go Axe over Darks here?
And X is really good with the Ice Blast. You have the setup for Ice Blast. And on top of things, I'm actually thinking maybe it's possible for him to play the lane directly because it's melee against melee. If the Clockwork can keep the Edge busy and leave the lane 1v1 X against Void, then that would be also really good for the X. So maybe he doesn't necessarily have to go behind the lane and cut the wave. Because if you do that, means the Void is also free farming.
Yeah.
But if you stay in the lane, okay, sure, you're going to get less farm because you're not going to be able to drag the wave to the jungle and get the jungle farm as well. But at the same time, because you're in the lane, the Void can't really free farm as well. So it's more like a trade-off, like what do you want? Do you want to ruin Nikobaby's game? I probably think that you should.
Yeah, that seemed like a recipe for
But
success previous game.
Can Alliance convert into an aggressive tri-lane like they tried to in the
Yeah,
last game?
they could. They definitely could.
Would it be more successful this time around than last time around?
Depends on who is the other support. Yeah, it really depends. Okay, if it's a task, then it's like, okay, GG.
Why?
They can kill the X easily. I mean, even if they do, wait, let me see. What can the X do here? If he goes back laning, I think he might actually be contented dying for the creep waves if he feels like he can't even play the lane at all. Because it's a task. Task is just going to kill you with the team. The attack team plus the
Wraith
edge.
King, win lanes. Wrong team.
And Wraith King is
but
a good core-to-core matchup against the Void because you have 2 lives against the Chronosphere.
140-second Chronosphere.
So the last hero that Gambit is probably going to be like a hero that can move around because Wraith King is going to take a lot of farm.
I mean, Shadow Fiend still looks good to me.
Still decent.
But if
You don't
Alliance
have,
is really worried, they can ban it.
you don't have the overall last pick, and you're unsure if the Puck is a mid laner.
Well, TA's already been banned out.
And
Oh,
Shadow
Alliance
Fiend's banned.
Ban out the Shadow Fiend.
Okay, so what? The picks remaining.
I mean, if Gambit really wanted the Shadow Fiend, they would have picked it instead of the Wraith King,
Yeah,
right?
that's true.
Yep.
So we're gonna see something else for GPK.
Evoker maybe.
What has he been playing, Shiver? Give me some
Well,
GPK
I mean, obviously
heroes.
he's only played 3 games.
Does he,
so
Tell me what
does he
happened in
play
the 3
Invoker?
games.
so far he played Ricky and he played
but does he
Ember.
play
Played
Invoker?
Ricky and Ember.
Yeah.
No, does he play Invoker? The what's his name? GPK. Yeah. Does he play Invoker?
Let's just assume he does.
I think every
It's a
mid
pretty
laner
good
kind of has
Exalt
to.
Invoker game.
But he mostly is like of the Lenas and stuff. He plays a lot of Lena.
Yeah.
But I don't like Lena this game, I think.
I mean, Lina is a hero.
Or Queen of Pain,
it's
I
not.
don't really like.
He's not very reliable as like a win condition hero because
Yeah.
she's way too squishy. It's very easy to kill him. You can get ahead a lot by a huge margin by winning your lane, but it's also still very easy for you to lose the game. One death could just lose you your snowball effect, and you could just lose the game from there.
So they ban out the Razor. Remove that from the pool. Now you don't have a lot of time left to pick.
OD, maybe?
From the pool.
I know banning out Razor used to be one of the... Why is time frozen on 11 seconds?
Very poetic. Why is time frozen?
Why
Our
are
age
we,
frozen.
Why are we here, Shiver?
I mean, maybe we're just seeing the bonus time and we're not yet into the bonus
Oh, okay.
time. So once that starts ticking down, then you should be worried. Or happy that there's almost a pick.
I would be ecstatic.
There.
You got any proposals, Winter, for
There.
a mid laner?
Timer ticking down.
Clock's ticking. I'm saying OD. Let's go.
I'm not sure if OD might be too greedy though. I mean, I can
Whoa.
see how OD can work against them.
Kunkka.
That Kunkka is, I think, overall much more balanced. It's
Oh,
all-
why did we not remember GPK's Kunkka? I thought that was also.
Yeah, it's
his.
very good against the Chronosphere, the bolt into the Chronosphere. I mean, overall, I feel like Gambit again has a very, very solid, like, balanced lineup, you know.
It's a lot of melee heroes, though, against Chronosphere and against Enchantress, which it could be a 33 Enchantress.
And against the Dream Coil.
Yeah, Dream Coil as well, exactly.
5 seconds remaining.
So what is the last pick?
The last pick is going to reveal where that puck is going to go. So it's either a mid hero or an offlane hero.
Yeah,
Right?
most likely.
And then we're assuming Enchantress and Tusk are the supports. Tusk definitely. Enchantress can still be swapped around. So it could still be a support. I know, it's Viper. True,
Still
Fata,
doesn't really
Fata.
answer anything, though.
No, it doesn't. How does Viper do against Kunkka mid?
Not very sure. I remember the old Kunkka would be able to deal with the Viper, but right now I'm not sure.
That is a Limmp Viper.
Okay. I mean, they had last pick, and that is what they ultimately selected against what they knew was going to be a mid Kunkka.
And it's also really good with the Chronosphere, so you can throw your spells inside and you can hit outside the Chronosphere.
Yeah.
I think overall it's a fairly reasonable pick to fit their lineup overall, but I'm not sure about the laning. How I think he should be able to do okay, because I'm not very sure about the matchup right now.
What is important for this game for Gambit to take it?
Well,
For Alliance, if
I
you
think
rather
as long
wanna
as
say
they don't lose their lanes terribly, like
Okay.
how are they gonna secure again like the off lane? Because the Alliance is really good at punishing the off lane, like with their tri lanes. I think what I said in the first game was about Bat Rider. If he gets a game, I think this game is very similar. If X gets a game, I think Gambit has a very, very good chance of winning the game. They have a very, very solid draft.
This is how Neta plays. He also is not wearing shoes at the moment, in case anybody was wondering.
Dude, this is the school of Ramses.
This is the pose. All right, guys, I need one word. Game 3, yes or no?
Yes.
All right, we're split on the desk. Let's hear how our commentators feel about this Game 2 OD and Lacoste.
Thank you very much, Shiva. Yes, getting into this Game 2 now to see if Alliance is going to be able to step it up and have a bit of a better shot against Gambit. Looking at the drafts, Lacoste, what do you reckon? Do you think Alliance has got something a little better going on this game, or are you still a little worried for them?
You have Chronosphere. I've said it multiple times, one of the worst scaling, if not the worst scaling ability in the game right now. And they have no cooldowns on side of Gambit, so they can keep fighting all the time. The only high cooldown they have is Reincarnation. And once you get to that mid-game, Wraith King doesn't care too much about fighting. This Viper needs to do a lot of stuff. Like, he needs to have a good laning stage. There's a ton of damage to throw inside of Chronosphere. The good thing is he's playing against 3 melee strength cores, so they need to get close to him, which Viper kind of excels against those melee heroes.
Yeah, and if he is in position, there's a lot of nice things to break, right? You know, if he's there to lay down the nether toxin underneath the axe, and he's not spinning, Wraith King's going to have problems, life stealing. You know, there's a lot of potential with the break mechanic, but it is still this hero that we have really seen falling off. Yeah, I mean, you said it, he's got to dominate. He's got to take over from the start. If he falls behind, suddenly this game sort of goes the same way as Game 1 did, where it's all on Nikobaby's shoulders to be that hard carry that takes them through to the victory. And we'll see if they can do it. I mean, obviously, some of the later picks from Gambit, I feel excellent selections. You know, GPK on the Kunkka, I still think this hero is definitely one of the best against Void. Any chance that GPK gets to get the run down on the Chrono means those early Chronosphere kills, they're just not going to happen. The 40% delayed damage reduction is just too much for any sort of lineup to deal damage through and get these quick kills. And yeah, as you touched upon, even if they do, there's going to be the reincarnation. There's going to be those second sort of lives. A lot of pressure. This mid lane's the focus to start, really. Limmp, he has to make sure these first few waves, he just dominates GPK. If GPK gets away with an okay start here, GPK is going to be able to hit insane farm like he did on his SF in Game 1.
For sure. Alliance wants to win mid lane for themselves. You can already see one ward on the left side, one ward on the right side. So they want to see both runes spawning, which will give Limmp advantage. When the rune's going to spawn, he's going to keep pushing the lane, and then he can control it. Also, any kind of rotation from this Tusk could result in a kill. Orb of Phantom, extra slow, still doesn't have a single point in any of the spells.
Dyer's turret has been killed.
But as long as GPK gets away with an okay start, he's going to be able to flash from. Head to the neutral camps. Limmp, he's got to pose himself very aggressively, make sure that if GPK does leave the lane, Limp's able to sort of clear out the wave and step over towards him, make sure that he's being constantly harassed with this Kunkka, even when he steps away from the lane. GPK, you know, if you consider how well he played in Game 1, you know that he's not going to be the kind of man to make mistakes, and he's going to play it safe and make sure that he doesn't feed away his life on the early levels. Looking at these side lanes down bottom, Nikobaby and Fata getting aggressive onto Shachlo. I mean, these sort of dual lanes that we've got going on, is there a certain side lane that you think is going to be very hard for one of the teams early on?
The bottom lane's not looking good. Vampire has a point in Rocket. it's not efficient against Faceless Void. Faceless Void getting the free farm on the bottom lane. They're pushing the lane on their tower. Now Fata is gonna just drag the creep wave back. So far, so good. The bottom lane going for Alliance. I'm a bit worried for Wraith King. Like, it's been a while since I saw this hero. If Hector is not playing it, it means something is wrong. LaNm.
He should have this. I think with this level in the poison, it's not enough! GPK will live. He did the maps and the fairy fire that he was sure to have. That extra burst heal, making sure that he didn't tick over the edge. I mean, that would have been huge. You know, they're the sort of kills that Limmp kind of needs to get to make sure that he is having that considerable lead. Sure, CS-wise, 13-7, 7-1, he is winning in the CS, but it's really the killing of the Kunkka early on that really cements that strong start. Sure, it's still a great start, but you know, Limmp, he wants it to be better than this. He wants to make sure that GPK is entirely shut down.
GPK just waiting for that point to put in X mark the spot and the TP back home. He's just gonna hit the jungle for now.
Yeah, finds himself a decent camp, one that's very easy to clear. So we'll be able to take this one out, getting very close to it, or maybe even onto that level 4 with this camp. Back up top, CS, I was seeing Dream 14 for 3 against 33, 11 for 5. And I mean, yeah, he's just talking about the Wraith King, saying we don't really see it that much. I mean, what do you expect his build's going to kind of be like? How are you building this hero nowadays, do you think?
I did not see any of Wraith King, but I assume it's still going to be a Radiance build. You can switch back, maybe just go for this like heavy right-click damage, where you go like Armlet, Deso.
One lane fodder. I've obviously got this combo. Anytime a hero is soloed away, the chase down potential with the Battery Assault and Battle Hunger is certainly annoying.
One of the reasons why Wraith King was so popular is when Hand of Midas was kind of OP. So you were getting the levels, the extra levels. So you get to that level 18 reincarnation, level 20 no reincarnation mana cost, and this is when you become pretty much invincible. Like, you have a guaranteed 2 lives.
Looking back at the update on mid, it's obviously that point GPK knows you can't lane now. You're just going to kill jungle creeps. Limmp is going to have that sizable gold lead, or at least he's going to be hitting the 6. He's going to be able to start making moves before the Kunkka is. We'll see how well he is able to do that. GPK, we'll see down bottom, Excess Vampire able to run away and actually deny himself to the Ancients there, stopping Alliance from getting any sort of kill, and reward for Nikobaby stepping away from the creep wave to try for that play. Smart moves from Vampire. GPK returns to mid as he X's himself back. He's waiting out, seeing if he can push out at least the wave, but as soon as he steps forward, Limp's just instantly on him with the aggression.
He knows that he has no TP, sees 2 TP scrolls in his inventory, so once he hits level 6, also has Boots and Viper. If GPK gets close, it should be a kill on him.
And as we've seen so far, 5 minutes in, GPK, he's not let himself be taken down. He's keeping close to the creeps in the jungle. It is not worth him to step a foot towards that mid. Let the Viper farm, and then the pressure is really just on Limmp to make something happen with this early, these early items that he will pick up. Bottom, Vampire and Shachlo tried to get in onto Fata. Fata turns, and underneath the tier 2 tower, they won't be able to dive on. Using the Satire Tormentor to nicely push the 2 of them away. And this is giving a lot of space, of course, to Nikobaby down bottom. A lot of the time, the 2 members of Gambit trying to run down Fata rather than putting the aggression onto the Void. So Nikobaby's getting a good amount of space down here, and some very nice solo XP as well because of this. Mid lane, I want to try and find GPK. Torrent, it's on point. Catches out Limmp before he's able to throw out the ultimate, and so they can no longer further chase GPK. GPK is fine. FNG needs to be a little careful how he steps in if Limmp does find the chance to go on him. And in fact, it's the movement from Vampire.
Everyone mid.
They're all coming in.
Plan.
I mean, someone's going to die here. It's going to be whoever Limmp gets his hands on. As Vampire does step a little too close, and Limmp will finally be able to break the peace that we've had for the first 6 minutes, as First Blood is claimed.
Very nice rotation from Alliance. They bring the numbers, they keep the catapult alive with the glyph, and this tower already on 600 HP.
Not what you expected?
Now we're seeing up top one of the sort of quieter lanes, 33 and Dream. Still pretty close, but Dream just having a bit of an edge up there. As obviously with the lifesteal can deal with the harass from 33, he's still got a tango and he's got a stick prepared. so can stay very nicely in the lane. But yeah, as we keep iterating, this first 15 minutes of gameplay, it's going to be all on what Limmp does. He's sort of the man that needs to be leading the charge, looking to start the action. Every single movement has to be crisp. Any sort of slip-up and opportunity for GPK to start hitting the jungle, hitting those levels. He's already going to have the level 6 with the next camp. And suddenly Gambit will have a solid response to plays that Alliance try to make, especially if it's close to towers. You know that he's going to be TPing in and using the boat to try and stop any potential pickoffs from happening.
It's such a great Viper game to start with. You're playing against the 4 melee heroes and AA, so you should have an easy time getting those slows. And these heroes, they don't build into BKB besides Kunkka.
No. And
even if you do, like, there is still Viper Strike to slow you down. It goes through Magic Immunity.
See down bottom, Shachlo's able to grab himself a good old creep wave or two. Continues to farm up, making sure that Nikobaby is pressured to play underneath the tower. Not that that's any real issue though for Nikobaby. Still finding the full levels, hits the 6 mid lane. See a bit of a play onto Limmp. He's going to get caught back. The snowball save will come into play. Shachlo trying to bring him back, but the cold feet was already there beforehand. Catches him out. It comes out, but is there the damage? He's focusing the Kunkka. GPK does go down, so Nikobaby able to find something in return, but overall Gambit will come out on top with the double kill. Excess Vampire will be able to move away. They've got no further chase. So a 2-for-1. That is the Chronosphere being used. As you know, we were talking about earlier, you know, that incredibly long cooldown. You do get the GPK kill, but you're losing 2 heroes for it. So Alliance, I mean, it's action. Nikobaby's getting a kill.
That's what we want to see, action.
We do. You know,
we're not biased. Just give us a good action.
We just want to see.
It's still worth it for Gambit. They use the Chronosphere so they can play more aggressive on the bottom lane. Dream.
He's got a mango.
Oh, he popped it. Also put the point in reincarnation, which will keep him alive.
So they want to try and force and like jump in to burst him. They'll know that with the way that he's sticking around it is indeed because he has skilled it up. They won't look for it. They'll let off. Nikobaby, the build. Got the Battle Fury queued up. I want to see if he does go for the good old Battle Fury Agonyms that we've seen him do before. He's going to find an opportunity to jump in onto Shachlo. Shachlo turns to the call at the same time up top. GPK is being chased down as Limmp gets it aggressive. Bottom lane, Shachlo is bringing them quite low here as he spins, but they have enough control, or do they? In fact, with the snowball, Handsken didn't want to stick around. Shachlo's duking it out. He's actually salving up. They will manage to take it off, and Fata in with the slow. This should be enough, and it is. They'll get the kill, but at the same time, Limmp did go down. Limmp, whilst this was happening down bottom, he was getting very aggressive up into the high ground of that entrance to the jungle by mid on Gambit's half of the map, and he loses his life for it, trying to play aggressive on a GPK.
When the rest of the team is making an action, you know, there's not going to be any kind of saves, so you need to be careful about your positioning. I mean, it's easy to sound smart after something is done, you know, but these are the pro players, experienced ones, they should know it.
Yeah, you know, Limp's going to know that he cannot afford to make those moves where he puts his life in danger. If he falls behind, suddenly this Viper's game as a whole just gets so much harder to play.
This is the problem with this build. You're going all in. I want to keep harassing people, but you still don't have a single point in Nether Toxin, so you can't hit the jungle.
No, at least it's very hard to do so. I mean, what we've got at the moment, 9 minutes and a half in, 3 for 3, less than a 1K difference. Very, very close beginnings for these two teams. And, you know, as I say, it's going to be down to what sort of magic Nikobaby can bring. If he can get away with getting this Battle Fury build without Gambit starting to speed things up. And he's almost likely to do so. You know, Gambit, very much with their lineup this game, I feel like they're less in a rush, right? You say that later on, the Chrono, sure, it guarantees you 1 kill. It's not necessarily going to get you 2. So Dream, queuing up that Radiance as expected. He's ready to sort of play the long game alongside what Alliance has got. And I think Gambit feel, probably at this point themselves, the fact that they've come out of this early 9.5 minutes without being massively behind, Gambit are pretty confident at all periods of this game.
Yeah. Radiance is going to do miracles once you get it. The missed chance against Faceless Void, of course, and the Viper, who rely on getting those right clicks on. Also, I think there's going to be a lot on shoulders of this Tusk.
Okay.
His snowballs need to be on point against the Clockwork to get people out of the cogs or when Axe initiates. So if he gets a good early game gets enough farm, getting a Blink Dagger, saving people from Kunkka's combo, that's going to be crucial.
We do have a slight pause here, of course. Apologies as we wait for 33 to get himself back in. Looks like they are just making sure that everything's all right with the tech. As it looks like just some minor sound issues on the microphone that they are just correcting. Oh, actually, the whole PC's got to go. There we have it. All right.
You still call that a minor?
Okay, that's kind of a big one. There's oh no, the mic's not working. Well, we'll swap the PC. Get a new one in. There we have it. Smack
My
it
hero
on.
does not have enough CS. Let's just swap out the PC.
I mean,
bring him a new one.
That's this sort of excuse I use in my pubs, you know, when I've died 2 times.
Yeah, that's why I have like 4 PCs.
So I just got to move to my different setup. This one's not seeming to work quite well at the moment. Oh, we get 33, and I mean, 33 so far. He's been having a fine old time top. Very much just trading farm with that of the Wraith King. Sure, not shutting the Wraith King down, but there's only so much you can do as a puck on your own in that 1v1. Wraith King's going to feel pretty strong.
Now you know that Wraith King has a point in his ulti, so you need to like stay away. If you can kill him once, after that you need to back off, or you bring Faceless Void once the Chronosphere is ready.
See some highlights here again. That chrono attempt from Nikobaby coming into play. They get GPK, but as we saw, just losing the 2 heroes in return and losing Limmp. That was the first of the 2 deaths that we've seen from Limmp this game that have slowed down his performance on the Viper. And you know, that little bit of an opportunity for Limmp to strike back, get himself a kill with the huge amount of numbers that were drawn towards the mid lane. That's a replay of the replay there. Never ending. Some replayception going on right now as we wait for 33 to fix himself. Oh no, we've also lost Limmp as well. He's also saying, hey, I want a new PC too. So we'll get that switched out.
Yeah, I'm gonna unplug this one.
Do you want a new PC? I could do with a new PC actually.
I'm actually lying.
And my PC's, I could do with a new one.
Once Axe gets his Blink Dagger, they can start playing with this global presence from the Clockwork, Rocket, Hookshot, initiating from far away on top of AALT, or just set things up with the X mark.
Yeah, I mean, do you like that? Because I feel there's a large period, a large meta where you went Axe, you would farm up like this quick 7-minute Vanguard first. You would very rarely go for the Blink Rush. But this game, having that initiation as soon as possible is just superior to any sort of tank ability.
Sure, you might still swap things around after, get either a Blade Mail, it's great against Faceless Void and Viper, or you might tank up, get the Pipe against Puck and Viper, any kind of a magical damage.
Yeah, I think Pipe's going to be a huge necessity this game. Even the Void, obviously, with those bashes. But I do, you know, if there's anything to hope from this game, I certainly hope this one's going to be a long one. I want to see some late game Void action against the Wraith King.
You just want to see Ags.
I want to see the Battle Fury Ags. All I remember is watching him do it once, and then I was like, all right, this guy's the first guy to sort of do it. I don't know if he necessarily did it again. He did win the game when I do remember seeing him do it. I'm going to actually do a little bit of research on the fly. Well, I mean, we might not have time actually, because they are reconnecting. I believe the new PCs are installed and ready to go, as it looks like everybody's back on.
Kind of unfair for Gambit. They're playing on old PCs while 33 just gets a brand new one.
And the hardware difference now. We'll see what sort of plays come out from 33 and Limmp, if the refreshed devices make the difference.
That's a huge stack in Gambit's jungle. First item starting to drop, Keen Optic.
Damn Potter. Nikobaby just gets run down by the 2 of them. He time walks, they're able to easily close the gap with the slow. That Battle Hunger and Vampire just running him down with those Tranquil's move speed.
That's a big one. Yeah. They also controlled both of the outposts, so no XP for Alliance.
They're trying to find something in return. They're like, okay, you kill our Void. We're going to try for the Wraith King, but he's got to reincarnate. You'll do it the once. You're not going to do it a second time. 33 using the Dream Coil to hold back the clock. That will keep him safe. So they lose their Void, they're able to pop a reincarnate. It's something, but it's obviously not a great trade for Alliance.
Nikobaby's thinking, do I TP top I want to kill this Wraith King, or do I just go bottom and keep farming?
Yeah, the temptation would have definitely been there, but he knows, you know, Gambit, knowing that Reincarnate's not available, they're going to keep him safe mid lane. Drag back into the combo, the boat, Tidebringer, and Ice Blast. It will connect indeed. Vampire, can he stay on top? The pushback with the Cogs. Cogs will live. They lose Handsken, but Handsken coming in, rolling forward, giving his life to make sure that Limmp is able to separate himself, will save his mid laner.
This is such a deadly combo. Once the X mark is maxed out, you can initiate from so far away. You have guaranteed Ancient Apparition ulti on top of Rocket, plus Conquest combo, of course.
And you add this Blink Axe into the mix, which is going to be done very shortly, especially if he's able to keep the pressure onto this tower and take it down. Shachlo, 1,800 gold towards the Blink. Pulling over this wave, and now we have extra backup. I mean, already with just the phase boots alone, we've seen how he's been able to run down Nikobaby. Extra TP's coming in for Alliance. They know they're going to get aggressive, and they'll turn. No hesitations. Nikobaby pops the chrono. Can they burst him with the damage from Limmp? He should fall down. Another resin time walk in. He gets the call off in time, but it won't save him. He'll fall, and they're looking for more. Alliance, they've got their sights set on Vampires. Vampire will try and duke it out through the trees, jump forward with the time walk. They'll block him off. As Alliance, they'll take down the two of them.
The safer play for Gambit would be to just to scout the tier 1 tower with the Rocket to see who's there and who can rotate. It was an okay plan, but Alliance, they just brought the numbers. Boots of Travel on Puck. I'm not a big fan of Boots of Travel, but on certain heroes like Puck, it's really good.
Yeah.
You're going to be on the side lane, just buying time for your Faceless Void, and this Viper, he had an amazing start. Now Kunkka is 2,000 gold ahead of you. So,
and this is, you know, that's sort of the downside of the Viper, right? You have that, you feel amazing. You feel like a god for like the first 5 minutes.
Yes.
You're like, ha ha, look at me, trashing this guy mid. He's terrible, easy lane, and then suddenly your game slows down to the point where you're both at the same point at 12 minutes in, and you're like, oh, what do I do
my
now?
teammates.
Yeah, he's like, Dude, he's like, yeah, I want mid. What the hell's going on elsewhere? You know, why is this Kunkka so farmed? I trashed him. You know?
Can you say miss?
Yeah.
Bottom lane is being pressured. No Chronosphere. Alliance realizes there's no way we're gonna take this fight. They even scout things out with Ice Vortex. Axe getting closer to his Blink Dagger.
Close, right?
Also, it's a really nice item, the neutral one. Faded Brooch, mana, and move speed. That's exactly what Axe needs.
Yeah. There we go. Tower taken. MoonMeander will be found. Nikobaby's going to keep hold of that one. Extra bit of reach. Nearly he's able to cross that first hurdle as Demon Edge Gold very shortly to be done. But still needs ample time for the completion of the Battle Fury. And this is time that Gambit are going to be likely to punish very, very nicely. Dream's timing as well, it's going to be just as, if not more impressive really than that of Nikobaby's Battle Fury potential timing. This Radiance, this Relic timing, it's going to be very, very good for Dream.
This is a Blink reveal for Axe. They're not going to get anything out of it. 33 should be fine, has both Orb and Vanning Rift to work with.
Yeah, they ping him out as well there. You know that Alliance are... They're not skipping a beat, they're clicking on heroes. They know what's up. They know exactly what to expect from Shachlo's aggression. Smoke's going to be picked up by Fata. We'll see how they want to head to next.
So speedy, 500 move speed from Faded Brooch, Phase Boots, and extra Wind Lace on top of that. Here comes the initiation, dodges it.
Phase shift.
Dodges that.
And now with the Dream Core down, Alliance is going to see if they can try and find something in return. We'll see the clock going deeper. He says, take me, let the rest of my team go. They will. They'll kill off excess Vampire. But a sort of a calculated disengage from Gambit, making sure they don't lose anyone else other than the clock support.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
They rotate 4 heroes on the top lane. Chronosphere is ready. Tower extremely low. I'm not sure if Gambit can take this fight. Wraith King just
Does he want to go for the deny?
bottom.
Oh! He got it! He's in and he's out. Shachlo.
A lot of time wasted. FNG just corners himself.
All right, so you got both supports out of that move now. And also around that 15 minutes, so we'll be able to pick up those bounty runes on the way out. Fata was able to grab the one down bottom, so taking the majority of bounty runes too for Alliance at this 15-minute mark. On lane 33. Jumping in, I mean, very little he can do alone to scare Dream. Level 12, he's got the 2 points in the Reincarnate, so he's going to feel more happy pushing out confidently, knowing that there's that lower cooldown. And he's just about 600 gold away from a completed Radiance. This Wraith King is going to be huge.
one strength of Kunkka is he can build pretty much any item that you need in this kind of scenario. Heaven's Halberd against, once again, Viper and Faceless Void, who's not gonna have BKB anytime soon, going for that Battle Fury, so they're gonna be crippled. On top of the miss chance, AA sending ulti on the top. They see Handsken.
See if they can mess this up. They can. Won't mess him up. They'll get him with the jump. Handsken, he'll get the snowball out, but he's dead. Oh, does die to a neutral creep. Alright, so he's able to deny it. Make sure that Gambit doesn't get any sort of a bonus. Wasn't able to claim back the outpost for his own team, though, in time. They were able to make the moves before that channeling was complete.
Once Wraith King finishes the Radiance, it's go time for them.
Yeah.
They don't care about the cooldowns. They want to take a fight. They're still tier 1 tower on the mid lane. They know Faceless Void has that Chronosphere ready, so they should play around it. If they can get the boat inside a Chrono, I don't think people are going to die.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with you on that point.
Oh, M-Claw and Viper. That's a good one. I mean, you can give it to Faceless Void, but he already has Vambrace, which is one of the better tier 2 items.
Limm's build, focusing on that BKB. We'll see what Nikobaby does want to get next, as the Battle Fury just a few hundred gold away from being complete. So as we say, you know, both carries hitting that sort of that big item timing. Just the fact that Dream does it is a little bit quicker, and it's a little scarier than sort of Nikobaby's Battle Fury. Sure, the Battle Fury at the end game is going to speed up your overall farm, your overall game plan, but for now, you know, a Void with a lone Battle Fury is not nearly as terrifying as a Wraith King running down your lanes with a Radiance.
Tier 2 items dropping. X found the Grobo and the Vampire Fangs. I mean, you should give Vampire Fangs the excess Vampire, right?
I mean, it's in the name. It is in the name. But no respect for that to be had. It looks like for the time being, Dream's going to hold on to it.
Kind of disappointed, to be honest.
Not sticking to the law. Snacks would not be happy.
If you and me were playing a party game and there was an item, let's say called OD Pixel, that gave you negative 200 gold, I would gladly give it to you.
Oh yeah, and if you didn't, I'd be leaving the game. I would be fuming. We see here overall drops. What else? The Vambrace in the net. Grove Bow to be found by Gambit. Something nice that I imagine is the AA holding that. Nice, yeah, holding on to the Pupil's Gift right now. Giving him that extra stats, extra bit of tank ability. There's the hood done for Axe. So again, if Shachlo is able to pop that active and get out and have that safety of the rum from the Kunkka's boat, this Axe is going to be incredibly beefy on the front line. So he can really afford to just go in on any opportunity Shachlo sees.
Puck finished his Blink Dagger, so he's going to be harder to catch. Will continue pushing on the side lanes, hiding in the trees. Another Heaven's Halberd being built by Wraith King. I love that. This is one of the best items in Dota 2 at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, just sort of stat-wise, particularly on those heroes that have some sort of lifesteal built in, just the way it amps everything up. You just have so much sustain. As long as you're not disabled and are able to keep punching away, it's effectively just that extra bit of HP that the enemy team is having to burst you through. And if they don't burst you down, you're going to be healing back up very, very efficiently. It's top lane Gambit. Smoke to play to be made. Shachlo needs to find the opportunity to get the jump off. Handsken, the only one looking at this, but they want
the bigger kill.
They do. They may settle for him, though. And they know the rest of them have already gone out. Still careful, though, on how they jump on him. They know it's not really worth throwing their bodies at the tusk. If they kill him, it's nice, but sort of taking that chance that their counterplay is going to be there, which it would have. You see Limmp instantly was up there. So Gambit making the smart move not to jump the tusk because any sort of backup comes in.
They try to make something happen on the top, instantly TP to their tier 1 tower on the bottom lane. 8 seconds, they have time.
Well, they do get the jump onto Shachlo, but Shachlo's tanky.
Shachlo's alone.
Yeah, with the three of them then, Limp's damage offering. They will still find him as they'll get the kill. There's maybe a potential to turn things around in their favor, though, as GPK does drag back the Viper.
Disarm.
Jump forward from the Void. He's got the Chrono on the 2, but does he have the damage? This Radiance, of course, is just ticking them down. They'll look towards GPK, but Vampire's over. And again, this is the problem at this stage. You come in with the Chrono, but there just isn't any potential to get the quick kills.
Now it's time to go for Roche. They know there's no Chronosphere. Viper's dead for 30 seconds. They have the lifesteal aura, so that's going to keep them healthy. Faces Void, he goes in, but he gets disarmed by Heaven's Halberd. He's hesitating, do I pop it or not? And the Viper was dropping low already, so he understood that there's no damage.
Can they go for any sort of steal? They're trying to scout this out. Fata and 33 are watching by the side, but this is a terrifying group of heroes to try and throw your body into. And sending in the Centaur. Poor old Creep to see if they can mess around with him a little bit. They'll turn, instantly kill it. Now Gambit, no. Just get rid of this Creep. Make sure that there's no way for them to interrupt. They're trying for the jump, and they get the kill. But again, Gambit are the ones to pick up the Aegis. But hey, yes.
Hook shot.
Gets the goal. 33's on the run. Vampire's got a hook shot in a second, but he doesn't have the mana.
No mana. Once again, Alliance got the last hit on the Roche. At least it's something. But the Dream, once again, with the quick fingers.
No, especially when it's on these sort of early Roches. You know, that's a significant gold boost to the team. You see, 3K lead now for Alliance. So yeah, definitely something to sing about for the Alliance boys. So overall,
it's a lot of slow, a lot of kiting. You might have Aegis, but once
you got to do this 3 times though,
it's gonna be more slow.
As soon as he's back up, GPK is looking for the setup onto Limmp. Straight into the X-Mark Torrent. The save will be there from the Snowball. They head over to Dream. Dream still on the front lines. The boat comes crashing down onto Limmp. As Limmp will fall, now with their hook shot available still, Vampire can close across on top of Handsken, and they'll take down the 2 of them. Push in on the mid lane, take a tier 1 tower. As soon as a bit of fortune's there from Alliance getting that Roshan kill steal, they lose 2 heroes. The gold lead, it's instantly negated, and Gambit, they're back at a point where the game's even, and they're as strong as they were before.
This is how you play against Faceless Void, and one of the reasons why I'm not a big fan of the hero, because you can fight every almost 3 minutes. Like, you're not farmed that much that you can still participate in a fight without the Chronosphere. Your whole team needs to be alive, and you need to outnumber the opponent, otherwise you're not joining fights.
See this once more. Just that bit of a dangerous poke too far from Alliance, trying to see what they could get. They get 1 life out of the Wraith King. It cost them 2 of their own, whilst Dream's able to step away with that Aegis still intact, and he's straight back to farming. Top lane Shachlo was pushing out. They moved the 3 of them up here. They will finish him off. He's able to spend the money up on the pipe before he does go down, so limiting some of the gold loss there.
I want to see some kind of 4 staffs on Gambit against Tusk, against Viper once he goes in. Is anyone building it? Clockwork has 1 queued up, but he's extremely poor at the moment. Even AA has more network than him.
Top tower is under attack.
We see Nikobaby, he's sort of cycling through the items. He's got the BKB done on top of the battlefield, but now it really is the point where you've got to look at this Void to get some damage online. He was queuing up the Butterfly before, going for the MKB, you know, identifying with this evasion, obviously, on GPK's Kunkka with that Halberd, the mischance from the Radiance. He needs to make sure that every punch connects, because if it's not, they're just not going to have anywhere near close enough the damage to kill any of these cores.
Red King just hit level 18, which means 3 points in reincarnation, 40 seconds cooldown.
Yep.
They want to fight. They want to keep fighting, use this Aegis, get the tier 2 towers.
Leading the way. They're into the jungle of Alliance. Alliance aren't here, though. They're elsewhere. Limmp. Got to be a little careful how close he comes. See if Vampire wants to go for this. He's got to go for it. He's going to go for it. Straight in with a hook shot onto Limmp. Do they have the damage with Dream and GPK coming across? They certainly do. Excellent read there from Gambit. Limmp just poking a little too far. Felt that he was safe, you know, as a Viper sort of sticking defensively, just pulling the creep camp out. But with that sort of reach with the hook shot, Gambit's going to be able to close that gap. And as long as they get the clockwork on top of them, there's so much follow-up from a distance, right? You sort of look at the cold feet, the torrent casting. It's very easy to combo down whoever excess Vampire catches.
It's pretty simple Dota. Just either hook shot going in, or with the X mark, if they get the good vision. They have a really nice vision on the bottom tower, which is really low. GPK is going to make sure that this tier 2 tower on bottom falls. I'm just going to chip away some damage. The rest of the team being on the top lane. Once again, nice fording from FNG between tier 1 and tier 2 tower.
Some continuously scary out timings. Again, even though this game, you know, we're seeing less than a 1K, the numbers are saying it's close, but it doesn't feel. I mean, would you say this game feels closer? You're sort of seeing Gambit just doing everything they want, and Alliance's game is just a little too slow for what they planned, and the
feels like
off.
It's a really good game for Gambit, but this just shows the strength of Alliance, where they can find the farm on the map even when they're not in a good spot.
Yeah, something that Nikobaby's certainly been able to do. Sure, he's still behind Dream, but he's not totally out of this one. He's hitting the timings. The MKB will shortly be done. They are amping up their defensive potential. The AC's done on Dream, so extra armor that's going to have to be fought through in the fights when Alliance make the jumps. Let's see if they go for the coil onto an illusion. Not the play, but not the biggest of worries. It's a minute cooldown. The game's kind of passive over 9 to 10 at 26 minutes in, not a whole lot of kills. So they can wait out that one. Nikobaby anyway, he's not going to want to fight until he does have the MKB complete, which he's very close to. But Gambit, they want to fight whenever. Their lineup good to go at any point of the game without that reliance on these long timings. And they're straight in over to Alliance's half. We'll see who they can catch out this time. Shachlo. He gets the jump straight away. They're focusing the void. They want to try and burst Nikobaby before he's able to get anything off, and they'll do so. Dead for 75. Nikobaby's gone. The pushback from the cogs. Limmp pots the BKB, but they're fighting through it. He's got to run. He's got to get back. Handsken jumps in to try and save him. Goes across with the snowball. But Gibkiy, he's heading in, looks for the torrent connection, but Limmp will be able to duke it out. Backs away. They lose the Tuster, and they're just diving in. They know without the BKB, Limp's got no further defensive potential, and just like that, Gambit waltz over Alliance. They're onto the tier 3s. None of these heroes have buyback. And this is what I'm saying.
Everything.
Yeah.
2 10-second BKBs, not even popped. I mean, Viper used one, but this ward that FNG placed to get any kind of vision at the smoke, they got the glimpse of Faceless Void, perfect positioning from Axe. They locked him down with the stun. That's going to be one set of Braxes.
They're fighting through backdoor protection with that AC.
Yeah. AC plus Skellies, finishing off the range racks on top.
I mean, this is the thing, as I said, we saw numbers a minute ago, it's less than a 1K, but this is why Gambit's lineup was just at that much of a lead. It's that easy. They make one sort of play like that, Alliance don't have buybacks, and suddenly Alliance lose so much at the base because of that quick move from Gambit. These smoke plays and these catch-ins, the perfect way to start things really for them. Getting on Nikobaby, no BKB, no chrono, no void for 70 seconds. That's exactly the way they want to start things off, and Nikobaby is just going to be kicking himself for being the one that was out whilst the rest of his team were behind him and not in position to save him in time.
If Tusk was close, he could have put him in the snowball. And Nikobaby, he understands this is how we win the game.
Oh,
Use up Divine Rapier.
I mean,
it also gives the True Strike against these Halberds, against the Radiants.
It is. I feel like anytime you see a carry queue up an MKB, you're secretly hoping, you're saying, look, dude, MKB, what's that really going to do for you? You need something bigger, you need something greater, and he recognizes that. Mid lane, Limmp, he's going to need some help.
Cogs.
Pops the BKB, Shachlo's going to try and run him down. The shards do take him back. Nikobaby's in with the Chronos Feast, caught out the 2 cores. They focus down Shachlo, they'll get the axe, now they'll try and move over towards the Kunkka. Do they have the damage though? Nikobaby, he just doesn't, or at least he's trying, but this Kunkka is so tanky. Handsken comes in with a punch. That was even without the run buff. Now he's got the rum on him as well. Now Nikobaby's got to escape. He cannot fight this Kunkka right now. He needs the rapier
from Aghanim Scepter, doing the God's work.
The water park is here. It's GPK bringing the fun. I mean, not so much for Alliance, but ever so much for Gambit. 8K lead now. Their growth continues.
Axe had a buyback, but did not even want to pop it there. Also, tier 1 tower to TP2. He understood how far ahead they are. Does not want to...
And he's queuing back to the MKB. God, he's got to get the rapier right. MKB is not going to do it this game, is it?
I don't think so.
And he's buying it. Disappointment all round. I mean, we'll see.
Yeah, I think everyone is disappointed. If you ask, do you want to see Rapier? Do you want to see MKB?
Are there any MKB fans out there? I don't think so.
Press 1 if you're an MKB fan.
Oh,
I don't see any ones in the chat. You have to try harder than that.
Okay. Well, at least he's queuing the Rapier up after it. But this is wishful thinking. I mean, to be fair, obviously Nikobaby in his position, he is like, well, it's very hard for him to find the farm. He needs an item and he needs it now. Obviously, Rapier's a little bit harder to farm up and a bit more expensive than the MKB. So he finishes off the MKB, so at least he's got some sort of fighting potential. You still know, though, that it's so hard for them to win a fight until he does have the rapier done on top of it. Oh, again, he's queuing up AC. He doesn't want to go the rapier route. It's going to be hard, though, for Alliance.
This ward is still alive, showing where Viper is standing at the moment. The illusions from Axe will push out the lanes. Let's see if he can bait another coil.
Mid lane, they're watching Nikobaby. Brax is able to get in. Nikobaby's got to get back. Quick time walk out. 30 seconds until Chrono once more. Top lane, Shachlo tries for the jump in. Will be able to get on top of Fata, drags him back into the Ice Blast. And with that magical burst to the Ray Fire, it will push him down. Fata's gone.
Roche will respawn in 15 seconds. They have a courier inside the pit, so they will know exactly when it spawns. All tier 2 towers are gone. 2 melee Raxes on top of that. They should just play it safe, go for Roche, and then go and end the game.
If you have Aegis on a core, Reincarnate on another, or even if you want on the both of them, it's just going to be so hard for Alliance to fight through that many lives. It's this Roche. They're going to try and contest it. They have got Chrono. They've got a good, solid chance of getting in it, but I don't know if they're going to be able to get it soon enough. It's going down pretty quickly. They've got to head over there right now. There is a DD outside of the pit. This could be a great setup if they're able to pick that up. They do grab it on Nikobaby, but he's got to make a jump. It's not going to be soon enough. Roshan's already gone. They pick up the Aegis. They pick up the cheese Gambit. And now Alliance, they're in an awkward position. Nikobaby's going to jump forward. Maybe this DD is enough to find these kills. He's got to kill this Kunkka before he's able to get the cheese off, but he can't do so. The chance is there. The Chrono ends. GPK's able to pop the BKB, pop the cheese, get himself back up to full HP.
Storm.
And now this is a hard fight for Alliance to stay around in the Torrent Storm, throwing Limmp up and down. Viper's gone. The rest of Alliance have to heavily get on the retreat right now. Shards will block him off. A buyback's in from Limmp. He knows that the rest of his team is under fire as Shachlo gets the call up onto Handsken. Handsken, he's got a bit of time in the snowball, but it's his own icy grave that he'll still fall as it ends. Vampire also gets the vision, gets the hookshot over onto 33. Blink out's there. He's at least trying to draw them away from the base, but the chance for Shachlo to lay down the battle hunger came in. He's got the Yules, so he will live. 33 does survive, but Gambit, they're already heading elsewhere. They're moving towards the mid lane, and GG's called. I mean, Alliance know, with no Chrono, with no chance of winning any sort of a fight this game, it's done and dusted. Gambit take game 2, and they take this series as a whole. 2-0 against Alliance. Gambit, I mean, sort of like we saw from Aster earlier today, these sort of, they're just on fire right now.
Both of these cores inside of Gambit in this game died once combined, and that was one death on Kunkka. Man, what a performance. I can understand why all the CIS teams wanted to get hands on GPK. Even after that really bad start, he still delivers.
And I just feel, you know, it's just, again, another game where we're just seeing Viper just being this hero that's very hard to play right now. You picked it as this last pick for this opportunity to have this great start in the mid lane, and sure, you get to enjoy. So your first 5 minutes of gameplay feels amazing. You pushed them out the lane, you've done a great job. The problem is it's a Kunkka. GPK is going to be able to catch up, make those plays, as you said, does not feed other than the once for the entirety of the game. He comes back into it, and pretty much from like 15 minutes onwards, this Kunkka just does so much in comparison to what a Viper can offer in the fights in this meta.
Yeah, and even if FaZe's Void got the kill on Kunkka, it was Kunkka in the last fight, he still buybacks. There's still tier 1 tower to TP to. This just shows weaknesses of the Faceless Void and how to play around it. Keep the buyback, and I think they did a good job with the draft. Wraith King has been popular as a counter to Faceless Void, as a counter to Bloodseeker, and it still works. 0 deaths on Wraith King.
Yeah, right, very good. And barely sort of any reincarnates used. I think it was maybe popped a kind of a couple of times, but even then, you know, Dream just hitting that great Radiance timing and having a very solid performance from out. So obviously with that, you know, Alliance getting knocked down, they'll have further chances, but Gambit, they're the ones that are going to have the smooth sailing heading on forward with this second victory of the day in terms of series for them. Very strong 2-0. Gambit, you got to watch them going forward, as they could be, they really could be just the ones to beat here at LAN.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Well, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for watching myself and Lakas for this series. We're done for the day. Don't go anywhere. We're going to head back to the panel for them to wrap up. Have a beautiful evening.
Thank you very much, ODPixel and Lacoste. And indeed, Gambit, they make it look somewhat easy and have a rough start. Before the game started, after the draft, I asked my panel if there was going to be a game 3, and one said a firm yes, and one said a firm no. And the question is, am I going to ask a person why he's right, or am I going to ask a person why he's wrong? It's way more fun to hear why someone was wrong. How about it, Tsunami?
Liquid lost to this. Nigma lost to this. What is this European representative doing here? Getting slaughtered by CIS.
Right?
Supposedly one of the worst regions. What is going on? I think Europe needs 2 slots for the next major because this is a unprecedentedly poor showing. I demand better from the European region.
5 out of 10.
Thank you.
I
aim for the average.
Why was this game so difficult for Alliance? It was being kept even for a very long time. Let's start it there. The laning stage was over. There were only a couple kills. First death happened at 6 minutes, which is like super late. And Winter, I believe it was you saying, you know, that's a sign that the game is good, that it's an even game.
Yeah, but I think that the game was already decided before everything started. At the drafts, and how both teams, you could see, they were thinking about how to draft against their opponents. And the major difference, I think, was Gambit has 2 players that can play the win condition here. Or maybe they choose to play it that way. They choose to be more flexible. The first game, it was Gibkiy on the Shadowfiend, and Dream was playing for the Shadowfiend. But this game, Dream was the win condition with the Red King, and Gibkiy on the Kanka is the playmaker. So they've shown that they could win by playing both ways. And whereas for Alliance, both games they were trying to do the same thing, which is to try to put Nikobaby on you know, the strongest hero in the game, but didn't really work out for them so well. For the first game, was mainly because of the laning phase. This game they tried to give him a much more smoother laning phase, but at the end of the day, like what the OD and Lacoste mentioned, like Void has a lot of counters right now, and the nerfs to the Chrono, so it's a very, very long cooldown spell, and when you don't have it, you don't feel even like a hero.
Yeah.
And also, I think the offlane heroes, there's like 33 was not nearly as impactful as he usually is. And Shachlo, game 1, the Bat Rider, this game, the Axe, he got way more farm than I expected.
But I feel like the question that they are struggling to answer is, do we actually pick Nikobaby's hero early?
Well, they tried it both ways right now.
Yeah, I felt like they wanted to pick his hero later, but what happened in the first game sort of affected them because Gambit, I mean, I think he's like the MVP because of being the captain and, you know, orchestrating the drafts.
I agree with it. 2-1 and 16 on this squishy thing that is Ancient Operation, 90% kill participation. I'm all for it.
And for Fata, it's more about like figuring out what to do when the enemy is banning out all your win condition heroes, and when you have to pick Nikobaby's hero early, if that hero is not like a high value hero, it makes it so that you pick this hero, he's not high value and he gets countered, and you have a very hard time closing out the game or finding a solution with the draft. That's what they have to work on. Either do they stick with the plan where they always pick Nikobaby's hero last, or they try to, you know, maybe expand and try to put Limmp on some win condition heroes in a given situation.
I also want to give some credit to Excess Vampire. I remember previous events, it was always Excess Vampire that kind of was painted as the weakest link. Not that he was bad, but that the rest was just better. And I think so far today, like, he's had some great plays. This series alone, Shaker and Clock were great heroes for him in terms of setting the tempo and making great plays with it too.
I think his movement was very good throughout the day. He understood that where he needed to be, if his job is already done with the offlaner, this is all the help I need to give him and I can move to another. Like, it's not easy to decide when you should move and when you shouldn't move.
Yeah. Look at that. Gambit makes it out of their group as the top seed.
Undefeated.
Undefeated indeed, even against Alliance, which according to a lot of people is the favorite to take the whole thing. Well, might want to re-evaluate that one because we also saw Aster moving out as the top seed of their group, Group A, leaving 2 teams still to make it out of the groups, but 2 teams guaranteed in the playoffs, Aster and Gambit, both in opposite sides of the bracket. And 1 more team from each group will join them and will be decided tomorrow. But we're gonna have a fun day of Dota 2 tomorrow as well. We're gonna have elimination every single game. We're gonna send 4 teams home.
Oh,
You
yeah.
guys wanna take any bets, or what are we thinking? Business Associates.
I hope at least one NA team
Boom.
makes it out. Either one doesn't really matter.
They're gonna run out of business tomorrow. Thank you.
Oh, they're going bankrupt? Is that what you're telling me? Or is KheZu gonna get sent to the insane asylum? Yeah.
Well, the thing is, because even like, let's say, okay, NA hopes, Tsunami's all for it. Let's
Yeah.
say Business Associates and KheZu make it out. Then they're still gonna Business Associates, the winner of Business Associates and Boom, has to face forZe, which we saw today do very well. And to be honest, the winner of No Ping versus KheZu, I don't think either of them should, in theory, be able to beat Alliance in that game. But I also thought, in theory, Gambit and Alliance was going to be a little closer. Didn't turn out to be the case either. So it can't be said about everything like
Theory and execution are two wildly different things.
Yes.
And seeing as how No Ping faced off against Alliance, they may have a little bit more information.
Yep.
If that is the head-to-head that ends up happening. But I do think that Alliance have to do a lot of soul-searching tonight.
I mean, this is their first event with the coach, so perhaps that is also, you know, a new impact for them, a new way of drafting, a new way of thinking about the game, if you will. Winter, you've been here the whole day. What are your final impressions of today's Dota 2 that was played?
Games were great,
Yeah.
and I really like that they just banned all Nikobaby's heroes.
Yeah.
That was the favorite moment of the day.
All right, final thoughts for you, Tsunami?
Overall, very pleased with how well CIS is doing. They seem to get a home court advantage,
Yeah.
especially here at the Kyiv StarLadder Arena. So forZe, we'll see how they do, and thrilled to see Gambit come out on top of Alliance. We'll see if they can keep the momentum going, or if, in typical CIS fashion, it may fall right before the finish line. But we'll save that for the later days.
All right, well, that was it. We had 4 best-of-3 series today, but we'll have 4 best-of-3 series tomorrow as well. A lot of awesome Dota to look forward to. Of course, it starts again at 10 Kyiv time. Not sure what that is in CAT, but it's the same time as today. And Nahaz will take you through the first 2, and then I'll be there for the last 2. And of course, everything will be backed up by awesome colleagues of ours as well. We'll see you tomorrow morning for more Dota 2 by StarLadder and ImbaTV.